Hey guys, Alex bringing you another video. Sorry for the delay in videos. School has really been tying me up lately. But anyways, without further ado, we have a new bench. I upgraded from a wiggly table to a nice solid piece of the house. I built this with the carpentering skills of my brother. Thank Christ we have someone that can build houses in this family. It's a bit cluttered at the moment, but we're still working out the kinks. Go ahead and space things out a bit, so everything's just kind of thrown over there at the meantime. Did a little bit of updating. I have my old German metal. I believe it's not sure what exactly. I believe it's infantry assault. It's not the close quarter combat class. I know that. But anyways, so yeah, let's go ahead. We have the new workbench. Much better. Tons of room. Everything's not thrown up at the front anymore. So thankfully now I can have room to breathe and build models. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and show you what I've been up to lately. The T-34 is in its first stages of weathering. Let me see if I can go ahead and get a better view on this. There we go. See, all I did with the T-34 so far was use 3 AK products, Shrieking Grime, some of Rust, not a lot of this around, but there's mainly, you kind of see the orangish kind of tint right along here, and diluted version of just take AK's dark brown wash for green vehicles, and ammo wash, thin it down just a little bit to make it flow much easier. And as you can see, really good representation of all 3 on the back. If it'll focus, which it usually won't because technology is not my friend. I think that's the best we're going to be able to do for now. Anyways, this is actually a mixture of... I started off with Model Master's Raw Umber. I really can't see anything right now. Enamel Raw Umber, thinned that down to do a wash, but it didn't work out too well. So I just did the rear end of the vehicle with it, and then I stopped, and that's when I used the AK dark brown wash and just diluted it and did the rest. It worked really well on the grill. I didn't know, I was thinking of different ways to possibly rusting this or making it look more weathered-like, but it flowed really nice. All I did is after applying the wash, since it was much darker and there was a lot of access, pretty much all of the panels on the tank, which I don't mind, because I'll definitely know that it's gotten into cracks and crevices. I just went over with just a little bit of turpentine and just wiped the rest of it off of a flat brush and just went around the whole vehicle and pulled all the streaking down. I may clean this up a little bit. Once I put a coat on it, it should actually just go away. I like how it came out. I think it looks great. I'm really impressed with how it came out, especially for the rear of the tank. Like I said, I might thin it out just a little bit more, or just leave as is, because I'm not finished quite yet. We're just in the first stages. After all the pigments and other parts of weathering that I'll put on it, it should actually just clear it up real nice. Again, the wash worked really well on the bands for the fuel drums. Really rough for that. They worked great. The rust and Shrieking Grime worked really well on the entire vehicle itself. Oof, yeah, that's a lovely sound. Works great on the overall vehicle. So she's in her first steps of the weathering process. Now what I've decided to do with this vehicle, I mentioned previously in another video that I started it up, only did the lower hull, and then just thought, hey, you know what, let's bust open the box and just finish it. So she's done, and the plan that I believe I showed in the other video was to use, it came with 6 figures 6 Russian riding figures. And I mentioned in the other video that I was going to also add Russian infantry at rest. I was trying to put all 10 figures on the tank itself to see how many I can put on there. And as Panzerman Bill, and I quote, "Comrade, move over so I can sit down." So yeah, hopefully I'll go ahead and try to go and put these all on here. Probably will be tough, judging by the size of the turret, and it'll be hard enough trying to put the 6 figures on, but let's just go ahead and see if we can put all 10. But if not, there's a loophole for the entire project. It will consist of the T-34, the 6 riding figures, Soviet infantry at rest. To me is Russian Tank Division Reconnaissance Team with the Lend-Lease amphibious 1/4 ton 4x4 truck. I believe it's manufactured by Ford, but a ton of companies ended up making these vehicles along with the Jeep. This is a special edition kit, apparently by Tamiya, that comes with ICM figures. This is the traditional 4x4 amphibious vehicle. It does come with the American figures and all the American accessories, American decals, everything, but it's just reboxed and with new artwork, and it comes with the 4 Russian figures by ICM and Russian decals. So I'm going to go ahead and put this along with the T-34 with the figures it comes with, and as an added bonus, also picked up the Russian Tank Destroyer Su-85 by Tamiya that also comes with 7 figures. 6 tank crewmen plus a female figure. I don't know exactly what she would be. I would say a combat reporter, but not quite sure yet. But I'm going to go ahead and add all 3 of these vehicles in somewhat of a diorama, depending on how it all works out in the end. And last but not least, I will also be adding Soviet infantry, the Summer 43 and 45. So what the idea is to have the loaded up T-34 heading down, advancing down a road. Don't know where exactly I want to put it yet. This is all I have so far of the vehicle itself. Have the reconnaissance team kind of pulled off, enjoying themselves, eating bread, whatever the Russians like to have. And having the Su-85 just somewhat pulled off with the barrel facing straight up, with the figures out, talking to the reporter and eating with. So just kind of combine them all together. But as the T-34 is going by, I will have the marching infantry walking along with it. So I'm not quite sure how it's going to play out. This is the plan. I do have a lot of work to do. Still have a lot of work on the T-34, and it's just piece by piece slowly building these two together. So I can go ahead and paint them together and weather them all together. And then I'll go ahead and get started on the figures. Some of the figures are assembled, as you can see over there chilling out in the Stuart. Some of the figures are assembled, but like I said, still have a lot of work to do, a ton of time. So we'll go ahead and work on that. And after this project, or actually, while I'm probably doing this project at the same time, just because I'm an impatient modeler, and because I have so many of them, why not? I will also be doing a quick little project with Mini Art's German self-propelled gun crew. I'm going to pull this back a little bit. And Dragon's Nashorn, early version. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this yet. We'll put the figures in this tank together. I'm kind of thinking about doing one of, kind of like a end of the war type little diorama. I'm not quite sure where I want to put it yet. I kind of want to, I was doing some research on this vehicle, and it turns out that in the late end of the war on the Western Front, this particular vehicle was the last and only vehicle on the Western Front at the end of the war that was surviving till the end of the war that could actually go up against the U.S. Pershing tank. Any of all Allied vehicles, this was the only and last remaining vehicle on the Western Front in the German region that was left to be able even to threaten Allied vehicles at the time. So I might go ahead and do end of the war, last ditch effort type thing with this vehicle and the figures. So these guys here will go together. I'm not quite sure when I'll start this up yet, but I will go ahead and do that somewhat soon, probably after I paint the SU-85 and the 4x4. So till then, this is the update for the new bench and some progress on projects that I've been doing so far, and the TriStar video for the overall TriStar products. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick review on the Flak Panzer 1A, and the Panzer 38T, Model E and F, plus TriStar's figures. So I'll go ahead and do an overall figures and vehicles of the TriStar company. I'll go ahead and give you what I think and go and get some feedback on there. That video will be coming up next as a request from some of the friends on the channel. So till then, thank you for watching and be good. See you on the battlefield.